Hello and welcome back. Last time we have introduced the problem of this age and amount, right? And as we know, our friend John, we have to predict the amount of money John took when he was 21. And after having this data, we put it on the plot, and then we realized that if we produce a good enough and a long enough interpolation, we will be able to predict the amount of money that John takes. But if we want to write an algorithm for this on a computer, we want a more easy form in which the computer can understand this same line, and for that we have introduced this line equation, right? And we said that any line if its slope is in any direction, right, we can represent that via this simple equation. And for that, let me although I have stressed a lot upon it, but really it's very important concept, and I want to spend a few more seconds on this. And look at this simple illustration. In this I have put 4 lines, right? So you can see this first line, this is just a horizontal line, right? And then look at this one, this is a vertical line. And then this one, this just goes through the middle, and it's in this direction, right? In this direction. So think about the direction, right? So, and from the last video we know that if we change m, we can change the direction of the line, right? So this line, this line, this line, and this line, all of them have a different value of m. And the second thing we'll see, we'll come to that a bit later, but let's see. Now I have written this equation in a way so it represents m equals 1, right? So what it is saying that whenever if you see this line, which has a perfectly 45 degrees angle, it is represented by this line. Here m is perfectly 1. Now if we go from this line towards a bit more steeper line, what will happen is this value of m will become smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and until it will be so small, that it will become 0. And at that point we get this horizontal line, right? If we increase the value of this line again, right, we are increasing it, and we hit the 1, we will get this perfectly this line, which is perfectly at 45 degrees, right, where m is 1. Now let's increase this value of m a bit more. What will happen? It is now becoming bigger, more than 1, right? Remember, this m is increasing now, and it will increase until it becomes so big. This line becomes so big, right? It becomes so big it becomes infinity, like a very big number, right? Now we see that this line is a vertical line. So when m becomes infinity, it's a vertical line. When m becomes 0, it becomes a horizontal line, right? And in between these values, we get all the variations of these angles, right? So our task is to find these lines is to find the angle of this line. And once we know the exact angle of the line, then our model is we found our model. Now one more thing just before we end this video is, let's see what happens. This remember, I've put the old graph we have created, right, just beneath it, and let me align these graphs so these centers just align. Okay, perfect. So now the x-axis of horizontal origin, right, and horizontal line, our horizontal line, and the x-axis just aligned, and y-axis and our vertical line just aligned. Now look, we are looking for this line, but this is not matching what we are looking for, right? And the other important thing is that the origin is shifted. So how can we change this equation so to get this line, this one, which is a bit shifted? It's so we have not we can't just rotate this line to get that line, right? This is impossible to get it. So what we have to do here is we need to shift the origin, or we have to shift this line, right? Either we have to shift the origin, like we have to move the origin, or we can do that with the C, with moving C. So if we just increase this C a little bit, we will be able to come just close to this line. Perfect. Now we are intersecting this line. Now we see that we need a little more adjustment, right? We need a little more adjustment to just get a perfect line. So now we need a little bit rotation. So remember, this line is between the 1 and the vertical line, right? So the value of m will be greater than 1 and less than infinity, right? But we want to know the exact rotation that we want. So we have to move this line. That is, what we are doing is decreasing the value from infinity to some amount of value. We can do that a little bit, and that's it. We got our perfect line. But we can do it the other way. We can just say, okay, increase the value of m a little bit, right, from 1 to up to until we get our perfect line, right? So now we are moving towards that line, and perfectly we got a line that is aligned with the. So what we did, we have increased the value of m until we got the line we wanted. So what does SGD do? Now SGD makes these rotations and translations, right? SGD does these adjustments for us to get the best fit line, right? SGD will do these rotations. It will shift the line up and down. It will rotate it, and whatever it takes to just approximate this line in the best way. Perfect.